Coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
Welcome back to Sips on the Rock.
Hello, everybody. Yes, welcome back, Jake Dell.
Yeah, welcome back, Jake Dell. We missed you last week.
It is really good to be back. You know, I told my wife that, you know, you're out sick a little bit. It's like when you're missing school when you're a kid, but then you find out they had a pizza party. It's like, oh, I get to miss work, but I really don't want to miss the podcast.
They watched the movie in class and you missed it.
Film strip day.
Glad to be back.
All right, we've also got the lovely and talented Leah with us today.
Leah is recently been promoted to our beer manager. She's our resident beer geek. And
another one.
My former position.
Right. We're very glad to have her. We're very glad to have her on the show.
And she's got some cool stuff to talk about later in the show. But yeah, so let's get rolling real quickly. We're gonna welcome in National Bourbon Heritage Month with a rye this
kind of cheating, but you know it's still whiskey. It's still American.
We have
whiskey.
loose rules.
Yeah. Most people would look at it and think, you know, bourbon anyway. So rolling along with our next barrel pick here at Legacy, one of our favorites. I feel like just the way they did our label. They have our name, Legacy Wine and Spirits, and our colors and our font on there.
It's pretty rad looking.
It's from a distillery called Koval, right? And they are out of Chicago, Illinois, and they are super cool. The rep came through here, and they have a really extensive barrel program, which is why we ended up doing the rye, because they have so many cool other things than just your standard bourbon, cast strength bourbon stuff. But little background on them. They like to do all of their stuff. They call it from grain to bottle. And so they're not sourcing anything from MGP out of state. They're milling the grain there. They're mashing it there, distilling it, aging it, bottling it, all on site in Chicago. And apparently it was the first new Chicago distillery that was open since the 1800s.
Oh,
Which is pretty cool, yeah. They won over 100 awards or something, but they're getting all kinds of praise. And this was our rye that we shared with... Who? Arthur's? So Arthur's has the other half of our barrel?
No.
Sonny Williams. Sonny Williams. Shout out Arthur's and Sonny Williams. So, yeah. If you happen to have some of this at Sonny Williams when you're having your nice steak, you can come buy a bottle here. So cheers. We want to
let's try a little sippy sip. So is this, do you know the mash bill on this one?
I do, and it's going to blow your mind. 100% rye.
Wow.
You never see that with anything. Nice little face there, right?
Sorry.
But so you never see any whiskey these days that's 100% one grain. And again, it's all from the same source, and so you get a real concentrated depth of flavor.
Yeah, you do. I'm a rye fan.
Yeah, David's our resident rye guy.
Yeah, this is right up my alley. There.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nice. So, talking about real quick, the difference between bourbon and rye. A lot of the rules for making rye whiskey here in America, we're not talking Canadian rye, which they have their own funky rules there. It follows a lot of the same things. It has to be aged in new American oak, but 51% rye instead of 51% corn basically is the big.
Yeah, and the rest of the mash bill can be
whatever.
Any cereal grain. Yeah. But 51%, much the same rules as a bourbon. Yeah. But rye can be called rye from anywhere in the world.
And what's the proof on this one?
55, so 110, 55% alcohol, 110 proof.
Yeah, it's already making my head sweat. I've already had one.
It's got some burn.
Rye tends to have a little spice. People will always say that's kind of the big note that jumps out compared to your sweeter bourbons. It has a spice note to it that works well in a lot of cocktails. Obviously Manhattans, old fashions, mint juleps typically use rye whiskey versus bourbon,
or a Sazerac.
A Sazerac,
Got to be rye. Sazerac. So I did my couple of drops of water in that, and totally different glass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big change in this one.
There's a lot of fruit going on in this one, citrusy and stone fruit.
So in rye as being, like a harsher grain, think rye bread versus a wheat bread or whatever, not being made from corn, rye whiskeys don't have that viscosity, oiliness.
Slick.
So it's a lot drier on the palate, nice and crisp.
And I think, they started back in the day, I think it was like the 15th century in Ireland where, you can trace back the origins of rye whiskey. But obviously it's a much cheaper grain than almost anything else. You see malted barley is super expensive, corn somewhere in the middle, and rye is kind of the low man, on the totem pole. And so they figured out, well, let's make some whiskey with it. And it's totally different.
Yeah.
I assume that we have this on the tasting bar.
Of course. All of our barrel picks, always ready for a tasting.
It also seems like I'm obviously not a whiskey connoisseur or a bourbon connoisseur, but it seems like it has less of a linger than some others.
That's true.
This one for sure.
Yeah.
Short
it just
finish.
finishes.
It's just
shotgun finish.
It is.
Cheers to Koval. I enjoy that.
Yeah, all their stuff is top notch. They do a cool cranberry gin liqueur. It's really interesting.
Why can't we try that?
Yeah.
Perhaps we will sometime.
Yeah. David likes cranberry with his rye.
Yeah, I got into rye drinking a rye with a splash cranberry. Bullet rye in particular works really, really well with
Can't say
the
I've ever
splash
had that.
cranberry.
Yep.
It's that dry tart on dry tart.
Call it a dry tart.
There you go. I'm a sweet enough person as it is. Sugary, sweet drinks. So sticking with the rye theme, coming from the beer department, we picked out something fun. Who's going to take a crack at this word?
Rogan Dunkel Doppelbock.
Ooh.
So David asked me, do we have any rye beers? And rye beers are definitely on my radar because I love rye in a beer. I feel like it, like you said, it gives a spicy quality, but it also is almost like nutty in a way.
Yeah.
This is the only one that we currently have. It's made by Stone's Throw, who is doing our tasting today. So it's appropriate. And it's aged in Rocktown Rye whiskey barrels. So
it's local on top of local.
Yeah, super local
nice.
collab.
Super local.
And buy local. I mean, purchase local.
Buy local.
Buy local.
With your bifocals. Leave it up to Stone's Throw, of course, to have a crazy style like this. They are never afraid to push the limits of modern styles, but really a lot of like old school styles.
Right. And this is a mix of several different old styles because, a Rogan beer is a beer that over 50% of the malt profile is rye. And then, a Dunkel is one of those like dark Hefeweizens, and then Doppelbock on top of that. Like it's like three different styles in one.
And then they put it in rye whiskey barrels.
Right.
Yeah.
And it smells crazy, but trust me, drink it.
There's a lot going on in this glass.
But it drinks a lot smoother than it smells.
It smells like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, like chocolate, a little chocolate sauce on some rye bread. And then it's all kinds of craziness, on the palate.
And these just come in these single bombers.
Yeah, just the big bombers, because this was some sort of seasonal. They don't do this all the time. It is.
I'm sure it's like 12%.
16% Lord ABV.
Wow,
I was way off.
We're gonna have a great afternoon.
So it's a breakfast beer.
So just came with their Rocktober Fest today, right?
Yeah, we now have the Big Damn Horn of Plenty, which they used to only put in big bombers like this, but now the Big Damn Horn of Plenty is available in a 4-pack, 16-ounce cans.
Thankfully.
Cool.
You got to love that format. I love that Stone's Throw has moved, caught up with the times here locally, because people don't like these big bottles for anything, that's not a big barrel-aged beer these days.
Right. And the fact that it's so hard to take glass anywhere. It's a lot easier to take an aluminum can anywhere, especially if you're on the river or something like that. So
they travel well, the pint cans.
But the cans don't make quite as good of a weapon.
Right.
Hey, you didn't see that Twisted Tea video? You can make a can of weapon for sure. It's just you can't do it while it's empty. So
Right.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's got to be full.
So another beer we got new in, spicy atomic pumpkin from New Belgium Voodoo Ranger.
Mhm.
Come on.
We
Voodoo Ranger.
have not tried this one this year.
This is the only pumpkin beer that we have right now that I haven't tried.
Yeah. What's
It's
been your favorite
spicy.
so far?
It's spicy.
That's what intrigues me about it.
Yeah. I haven't
so-
had it in 4 or 5 years, but it definitely sets itself aside apart from all the other run-of-the-mill pumpkin beers,
Right,
as New Belgium is wont to do.
right. To answer your question, my favorite pumpkin beer this year so far has been that Pumpkin Patch beer by Rogue, because it had like the roasted,
The roasted pumpkin.
Yeah,
that
I
one was really good.
feel like it had more depth and complexity to it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we tried that. It was really good.
might have to try this spicy soon though.
Yeah.
I know we need to make a little collection of these before they're gone.
Yeah.
So we have some for the fall.
Right.
Right,
So we
yeah.
actually have some when it gets cold.
I was like, for your house or the store?
No, for the house.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will always miss the vanilla pumpkin though that we used to be able to get.
Ooh.
O'Fallon.
O'Fallon.
They had a
Golly.
pumpkin pack that had, chocolate, coffee pumpkin, and a vanilla pumpkin, and they always went like super
Yeah,
fast.
the vanilla. It tasted like pumpkin pie with whipped cream.
was awesome.
On top. It was so good.
Schlafly pumpkin was another good one that we can't
Yeah.
get around here anymore.
So no shout out to
Single
those
tier.
guys.
You're right.
Right,
Yeah.
My family nickname growing up was Pumpkin, and I love pumpkin pie and stuff. So that pumpkin stuff is my love language, man. So anything pumpkin flavored, I'm about it.
It is definitely that season with fall coming up on the 22nd.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. The 22nd. It's already today's weather is really nice. It's not too terribly humid outside, and
I think
I feel
65
like
is
everybody
about
got
it.
tired of the summer this year.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. I was
We've already got the Halloween decorations up
The
downstairs.
store
Yeah,
was
right.
great.
It does look really cool.
I couldn't wait. I was chomping at the bit to get the Halloween up.
Yeah.
And with fall comes all these fun festivals.
Oh yeah.
Got several lined up. We've got a couple beer ones even. So why don't we start out with those?
Right. So you still have chances to win Little Rocktober Fest tickets. If you come to one of our tastings on Thursdays, right now we have Stone's Throw Brewing. Next week we're going to have Ozark. Week after that, New Province. So you have a few chances to win those tickets for Little Rocktober Fest. It's going to be September 24th. And then after that, even if you don't win those, you still have more chances to win tickets to another festival, because Lost 40 has agreed to give us some tickets for Festival of Darkness to give away.
Awesome.
To you guys.
Awesome.
And this is like a really cool festival.
It's the
Yeah.
party, the
Yeah.
beer party of the
Yeah.
year.
Nighty night release.
Yeah.
Uh,
A lot of
Zombie
dark
lumberjacks,
zombie lumberjacks.
fire twirlers,
I mean, I
people
have
on
everything.
stilts,
That's cool.
awesome
It's
bands.
got everything.
It's-
And this is at Lost 40?
yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
cool.
going to be at Lost 40.
And then last year they had the after party right up the hill at Camp Taco
Oh,
with another band.
love Camp Taco.
Yeah.
So Lost 40 is going to come do their tasting for all this on October 13th.
My
And-
birthday.
That's your birthday?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a pizza party for your birthday.
Talk about missing the
You're
pizza
not gonna-
party.
you're not gonna miss it.
Yeah, Chop said he's coming with pizza no matter what.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
they've got that rolling pizza oven now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to be frying, flame grilling some pizzas.
Flame
out.
frying.
Fry grill.
Rotisserie pizza.
They'll be cooking out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I mean, in anything Lost 40 does food wise, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Oh
their
man,
food's
they're awesome. You know, they are the state's largest independent brewer, and
Yeah.
they crank out some tremendous stuff, and they know how to throw a party.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun on
Yeah.
Jake's birthday, October the 13th.
Right?
Yeah.
Come see me.
You can wave up at Jake while we record. Chops is going to be here on the podcast that day.
Yeah.
What a fun fella he is.
Oh,
I can't
God,
wait to
yeah.
have him on.
Except today, he was chopless.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
He
Yeah.
he got a haircut. He shaved. He was looking real clean.
Does he have a court date coming up? I love you, Chops.
That's awesome. No, that's going to be a fun day. And then after the podcast, they're going to go down for a tasting.
Yeah.
Do you know the time frame on?
It'll be 4 to 6. Most of these tastings on Thursdays are happening 4 to 6.
Around when
Right,
people are
okay.
getting off work.
Yeah,
Mhm.
catching the off work crowd. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So come by and see us on your way home.
Swing it on by.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a couple of fun beer things coming up. We've also got Food Truck Fest.
This weekend? It's this weekend, right?
Back
The
check.
Little Rock Food Truck Fest.
Little
yeah.
Rock Food Truck Fest. It is Sunday. Yeah,
So-
Sunday 11 to
Ooh,
6.
it's
Yeah,
Sunday.
all day.
downtown. I'm sure you can't miss it because they block off the streets down there.
It's got a smaller
Main
footprint
Street.
this year. It's like just
Wonder why that
a
is.
couple few blocks
Yeah.
now. I
But
don't know.
it's Main Street though, right?
Yeah, it's downtown.
Normally, I'd be down there playing some music out, playing with my band, but scheduling conflicts, I guess, made it so that wasn't happening this weekend. So sadly, you won't be able to see my pretty face out there singing 90s and 2000s cover songs.
Well,
But it's still a great time. I know it's for, a good cause, and there's tons of good food there. Yeah, it's always fun.
I hate that you won't be there singing.
Yeah, well, their loss.
Yep. Well, we would definitely be there this weekend, but we're going to be out of town again. So
Yeah, we're going.
Jet setters.
Right?
RV setters.
RV setters.
That's even better.
It's kind of better.
Better.
Yeah.
I hate flying.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
not
the dog.
not if you had a personal jet. I mean, that'd be,
Well,
that's
yeah.
a whole nother level.
But I care about the environment, so
Yeah,
that's
right.
why I choose not to get a
You hear
personal
about-
jet.
You hear about
That's why you
Elon's
choose.
like 9-minute trip in his jet
yeah.
a couple weeks ago. Like basically went across the street in his
Uh-huh,
jet.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally nuts.
Like
Wow.
went up and came back down.
Right.
Not even worth the ticket.
Yeah.
It took
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
to drive to the airport, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, totally nuts. So another festival, they're just coming one after the other. October 30th is the World Cheese Dip Championship, right? Y'all in Little Rock.
The Cheese Dip Festival.
Yeah,
Mm.
Cheese Dip Festival.
Arkansas claims to have invented cheese dip.
That's
That-
right
that
on the
is-
street.
That's
Yeah.
what everyone says. I
I
mean,
think Texas tried to fight it, but we have the claim.
Yeah.
So come and get it, Texas.
Mexico Chiquitos cheese dip, which I love.
Yeah, it's great.
You used to be able to. I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to buy that cheese dip literally in a gallon jug. It took forever for them to fill it because it was like a
What is
milk
it
jug.
coming out of? Yeah, one of those giant margarita machines, the cheese dip. You walk out of there with a gallon jug of cheese dip and then a gallon of that sugar fruit punch, man.
I
You're
know this
set.
because I literally bought it one time for a family event because my family loves Mexico Chiquito and their cheese dip. And
so they're selling actually those like individual bottles of punch now.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it.
it. And that's good stuff.
That's
too.
good.
I meant to
That
look
is
into
straight
that, see if
sugar.
we can
Yeah,
get
no,
that.
I was about to say no sugar at all,
Yeah.
sugar free. I'm sure.
Right. Anyway, go to cheesedip.net to get your tickets. Put in the code SIPS on the Rock at checkout to get your discount.
Okay.
I didn't know that. We got our first discount code.
Yeah,
discount.
awesome.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah,
that cool?
we announced that in the last episode.
We are big time boys.
Right?
Yeah.
This isn't just any rinky
That's
dink
right.
Not
corner of
anymore.
our office podcast. We are big time with it. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up, as well as just the cooler weather. It was kind of cool this morning.
Do y'all have any idea if they still do the cornbread festival?
Mm.
Is that? That's why I pulled out my phone. I was trying to research that.
Wasn't that in the Heights? I feel like I
thought
went
that
to
was
It's
that
in
like-
one.
Soma.
Yeah,
Oh,
They
okay,
always
okay.
had it in Soma.
The Interest
Okay.
Gardens.
That was always my favorite.
I love
throw down
Cornbread and a
bread.
bunch of sides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not,
it's a good
I don't even
time.
know if I've heard of it actually.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
know.
miss
You
is
do
the,
some research.
I guess I do. Well,
the
now that
Gumbo
we're
Fest. There used to be a
Ooh.
Gumbo cook-off. And I really, really, really am tempted to try to reignite this flame.
Yeah.
David makes a mean gumbo.
it is a
Yeah.
main gumbo.
He'll
I mean,
make it in a huge pot and bring it to work, and we're always all
Eating on it
excited
for days.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but we just went down to New Orleans, and I had gumbo a couple times, and yeah, it just I miss mine.
Doesn't compare.
You sit there thinking mine's better.
Already, yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't blame you. I don't
Give my
blame you.
regards to the chef.
Right.
Mine's better.
all right.
Next time you go down, you need to make your own and be like, try
Right.
mine.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how it's done to
Yeah.
work.
Right.
Be that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking with a gallon jug of it
Right.
Mhm.
and the cheese dip.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheese dip gumbo. I'm here to party.
You know, some weird things that they do down there, and I've tried one of
They do a lot of
them.
I know they do a lot of weird things down there. Yeah.
But you know, a thing down there is to, instead of rice, use potato salad
Like
Oh,
with
yeah.
mayo.
No.
up
yeah.
in your bowl of
Mayo.
gumbo.
Like,
Potato
Like
salad, like
topping it?
in lieu of rice.
oh. I don't know
Weird.
about
Weird.
that.
I think
I don't know.
you tried that, didn't you?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
I thought you were about to say, potatoes. I can see.
No,
Potato
yeah.
salad, and also grits. They had
That sounds good.
Yeah,
grits.
that's-
I'd
Yeah.
totally be down.
I
I'm
would do
always
that.
down for grits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a big breakfast down there and ordered a side of grits and a side of bacon, and I like to get a piece of crispy bacon and use it as my
I knew you were
Yeah.
Yeah.
my grit
Yeah.
shovel.
Band name Grit Shovel.
I do the
Yes.
same thing with chocolate gravy. Like, I love to dip bacon in chocolate gravy.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Just
god,
roll
that
it
sounds
around.
good.
Yeah.
Candied bacon is great.
Right.
You know, I
Salty
so
sweet.
when I was young, we whippersnapper staying the night at a friend's house, and like he and his brother were just so happy. You know, the next morning was going to be chocolate gravy for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I had never had it before, and I
Yeah.
thought it was disgusting. It's like I've never in my life since tried it. I can't get into that. But you like it? Was yours like bittersweet or sweet?
I love it. I mean, I make it sweet. And also, one time I made it and I had the big brain moment where I put in a tablespoon of peanut butter.
Oh.
If you ain't never done that, you should try it.
Yeah.
Just saying, that was genius. My
Sounds
brother
awesome.
dug it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I am not allergic to gravy, to chocolate gravy. For sure, I like it.
Yeah.
No, not on my palate.
It's very divisive. I
Yeah,
love that
for
about
sure.
it.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, you either like it or you don't, because it's like a lot of people are like, chocolate gravy for breakfast. That
Right.
doesn't- But I mean, chocolate donuts are basically the same thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've got chocolate icing on
Right.
top of a pastry.
Chocolate chip waffles,
Yeah, right,
pancakes. Yeah.
I made
I'm down
it-
for all that.
I made it one time for a guy from Tennessee who had never had it. And he just looks at me. He goes, Leah, this is just warm pudding. I was like, Josh, shut up and eat your biscuit. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Your
Who doesn't
palate
like
is not
pudding?
refined enough.
You're right.
Get out of here. Go back to Tennessee.
Now give me the plain gravy for my biscuits.
Yeah.
And my grit shovel.
I love that.
We got a thumbs down on the chocolate gravy. Somebody said they don't like chocolate
It's okay. We say it's
That's right.
divisive.
It is
Yeah.
divisive.
Yeah.
But hey, I
Please,
give
everybody.
your thumbs down a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Amen.
Speaking of, now that I've just remembered that I'm actually supposed to be watching this, don't forget you can ask us questions online,
Oh,
and we
yeah,
can answer them
for
live
sure.
for you.
Live
If you have
in
any
real
product
time.
questions?
We have like an
anything else?
email box for people to
I mean,
get a Sips on the Rock Gmail.
we
Don't take it out there. Now there's
Right. Because we're not going to buy it back from you.
right.
Oh, so okay. Now here, let's spend the last few minutes here. Of course, it
Go
started
for
out
it.
this morning with the news of the Queen being
I know.
under medical watch, and we all know how that played out today. So hearts go out to the royal family.
Yeah.
Long live the monarchy.
All right.
I forget we are on video.
Oh my goodness.
I've got
Hearts go out to the royal family.
skipping
Yeah.
over that. I've got another article here, which Jake, you can chime in on this as well. Stone Brewing just bought out by Sapporo.
So another in the long line of breweries. What you think? 5, 6, 7 years ago, some of the pioneers of craft brewing. You know, when it kind of shifted from super local to your regional breweries, you had the ones that ended up getting big. You know, nationwide. Sam Adams was kind of one of the first. Sierra Nevada, obviously a pioneer there. Anchor, but then Lagunitas. You know, Stone Boulevard. You know who else am I forgetting here?
Vita.
Abita, was a big one. Red Hook. And then Goose Island, which leads me to the first one that was kind of bought out by a big evil corporation was Goose Island. The pioneer of bourbon barrel-aged stouts were bought out by the multinational conglomerate that owns Budweiser. They also own Bass and Franzis, Gonner, Spot, and all sorts of other stuff. But beer is a business at the end of the day, right? But it's kind of one of those funky industries where it's crossed with an art form. And there's a million different types of beer consumers. Some people don't care where their beer comes from or who owns it, who's profiting, whatever. They just want a cold beer, at the end of the day.
Right.
But, beer is personal to a lot of people. And I mean, I'm a beer geek. I'm a beer nerd, maybe possibly jaded by now, kind of over a lot of the hype and stuff when it comes to like releases and stuff like that. But, you see your friends open a brewery and they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and long hours. And, again, they're a part of, local communities, and, typically will be involved in, local charities. I don't want to go on here, but again, then when you get an offer for $30 million to get bought out, the owner has a decision to make. And so, Stone is or
165.
Well, right. See, I mean, it goes up. What Ballast Point sold for $1 billion with a B, $1 billion 5 or 6 years ago, or was it 7 or 8
show me
years
a
ago?
check. I'm walking.
Well, so it got bought by Constellation Brands, who owns a lot of liquor brands, and it was sold a few years later for 19 million or something crazy.
Oh my god!
Because they thought they were getting this huge brand once everybody got into craft beer and paid $1 billion. And then realized, we're running our distribution network thin. IPAs don't stay fresh when they go from Southern California to New York State. And people are going to buy local. And, if you're not the new hot thing on the block when it comes to beer, you better be doing something right, whether it's price point or advertising, because people will kick you to the curb, And so I do have this handy little graphic that I printed out that I had seen before, but there really is, you still have 10,000 independent craft breweries. I'm not sitting here trashing on local craft breweries, because I mean, like the ones we've mentioned, Stone Throw, Lost 40, Ozark, those are still owned by local Arkansas people, but I mean, a huge brands, Boulevard, I started, rattling them off, Founders, which we love. And they were one of our, they were tight. They were our boys, and they got bought out by San Miguel, Mexican or beer cup. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, you just never know. Again, some people care, some people don't really care. But like I said, it's hard to kind of balance and reconcile, the difference between. It's almost like if food doesn't get treated that way, like local restaurants don't.
Right.
But I guess is there like a restaurant turning into a chain?
I can see both sides of that coin, but I mean, I'm not gonna not drink a Bourbon County because it's a heavy invest.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I feel like if you're already familiar with a product and you like it, them getting bought out doesn't turn you off from it.
As long as they don't change it,
As long as they don't change it.
Right.
However, if it's something new to the market, or if it's a new brewery I've never heard of, I'm always more interested if they're, number one, if they're from Arkansas, but also even if they're just regional, even if they're just from, Tennessee or Texas or Missouri or something like that. I'm always more excited to try it if it's close by.
I mean, Prairie out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, because again, that speaks to freshness. And I mean, if the truck's only going a few 100 miles, that the beer is going to be fresh, and you're not getting something that's sat in a warehouse, being sold by somebody who's got a corporate job who doesn't give a dang about the brand.
That reminds me, we've got the new brewery that is new to our market. We don't have it in here yet, but we will real soon.
We will.
Soul, what was it? Soul and Spirits?
Spirits and Souls and Spirits.
Yeah, something like that. It's out of Memphis. And I mean,
keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Everything I tried was real good.
I've had a couple. I had the hazy IPA last night.
Yeah.
And then we both had the smoke dark lager.
And
which you never see smoke beers around these parts.
You never find those. And usually when you find them, they're light malt. And this is a dark malt. And I just felt like it was real nice. Very well executed.
Agreed.
Very cool.
I'm kind of anxious about that one.
There's a
the
couple weeks ago.
Packaging's cool too.
Yeah.
Arkansas Business had a list of the largest breweries It's got 44 listed in Arkansas. And,
I didn't even realize we had.
I didn't even. I mean,
some of them are so tiny.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that town, you're never going to know.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not distributing.
This 62 gallons was, the production on the 44th.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody making it in their bathtub.
Right. Pretty much. But yeah, obviously, Lost 40 was number 1.
Yeah.
Core Black Apple. This was curious. Black Apple is listed as the number 3 largest brewery, but
Cider.
also
They don't do any beer, right?
they got Black Apple Crossing is the number 1 largest winery. So
there's another winery on that list that I hadn't even really heard of, but can't imagine comparing a list like that to somewhere in a bigger state.
Right.
We're still small potatoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
They've
true.
got 44 on one street, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You got some headlines for us today? Wrap it up?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I think everyone knows the headline of the day.
Right.
Already,
No, I didn't know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, give me something funny to end the show on.
We'll save the headlines for the Queen.
Yeah.
What about them hogs, Jake?
Okay, yeah, we do need to spend a little bit of time.
I love the excitement in your voice.
I know. I almost forgot about it, but like I paid close attention to the sports balls and stuff, but Jake does, and I wanted to give him his time to talk about.
I came into today totally not expecting to talk about the Razorbacks on this podcast. I'm the resident hog nerd.
Yeah.
Could talk all day about them. The football season has started. We got some fun hog stuff here in the store. Our little Tito's mannequin has a hog hat on him.
It actually looks kind of creepy to me. Looks
Yeah.
like a headless man.
It looks cursed. I don't
Yeah, he doesn't have a head. It's just a hog hat sitting on the neck.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird.
With the hands up, like, it's good.
Hail Satan. It's so scary.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, so if you want to load up for your game day parties, the Hogs are 1-0, looking really good this year. Got a game this weekend against South Carolina. But we got all your beer, high noon, whiskey, vodka, your rosés for you Lady Hog fans out there.
Speaking of High Noon's coming out with a new tailgate pack. Have we seen that one? 2 new flavors.
I don't think we've seen it yet.
We haven't gotten in here yet.
Didn't we have a rosé called Hogwash or Hog something?
We got one, yeah. Hogwash.
Yeah, there you go.
Rosé's got some fun names.
Send nudes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, send nudes.
The Send Nudes bottle actually has the guy's cell phone on it, and he when he was here, he's like, I get thousands.
That's the
thousands
story. Yeah, it's his
nudes.
real number.
Really?
Yeah. On the back of the bill. Yeah.
I'm sure that he's got another
literally-
phone that he actually
Right.
uses. But,
It's like, call me,
Uses
leave me a
nudes.
stupid message after you drank the bottle.
You want to send out a thirst trap, send it to him.
right.
All right, folks.
Well, cool. Leah, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks
so
Yeah,
much.
we have fun.
Thanks.
Leah will be back to join us. I'm quite positive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got other guests coming up soon. So we'll see you guys.
We're happy Jake is back.
That's right.
Yeah, glad
the
to be
whole
back.
family back
Yeah.
together.
Aw.
All right, we will see y'all next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
All right.
tuning in.
Thanks a lot. Keep on sipping.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.